Today I'm going to show you how to create a watermark in Photoshop and how to add the watermark to your photos in Photoshop. We're going to open up your files and find the one that you want to add your watermark to. I'm going to choose this one. I haven't added a watermark to that one yet in Photoshop. Then we're going to open a new file. So we're going to hit File, Open, and then we go to the folder where our watermark is located. This is a watermark that I created myself. Just a plain watermark, a simple watermark. Okay, and you're going to go over here and select the magic wand tool. You want to make sure that these files are open separately, that they're open as separate photos. Okay, with our magic wand, we're going to select the white part of this photo. This is the background. Okay, and now that our background is selected, you simply hit, well, we have to make sure that this layer is unlocked. Now that our background is selected, you simply hit delete on your keyboard, and that is going to make all of the white that you had selected turn transparent. These white areas in these loops on the letters were not selected because the selection went around the outside of all the letters. So now what we're going to need to do is we're going to go inside the loops, select those, and do the same thing that we did on the outside. We just delete with our keyboard. Select, delete, select, delete, select, delete. And the more you can zoom in on this photo, the more precise your area is going to be for selection. I can zoom in a lot on this one. I have a really big screen, so even if you don't have a really big screen, you'll still be able to get this pretty precise. Photoshop is a great tool. It's a very smart tool. Okay, and the areas here, these are going to be some problem areas whenever you go to put this on your photo. So you'll want to make sure that these super light areas here that are either white or very light gray are selected and deleted out. Like I said, we want to get it as precise as we possibly can, because anything that's left white or very light gray, it's going to show up in your photo as a white spot. So we don't want that to happen. If you're like me, you want it to be as perfect as humanly possible. Okay. And just go through, get the big spots first, and then go back and see if you notice any of the smaller areas like this. This may show up. You can select that. You can also move this up and down, side to side. Just move it wherever you want it to be. That's perfect. Let's go down here, this area. This is going to show up as, there we go. On that. And hopefully I get it all, and there won't be any there won't be any white spots showing up. But if there are, like I said, when you add it to your photo, if you see any white spots, you can go back and take any of the white spots out that you notice. If that happens, you will have to close out the file here and start over. But that's okay, because once you get this part mastered, that's going to show up as white, this right here. But once you get this part mastered, you're not going to have to worry about having to redo the whole thing over again. So once you get it down, it's going to look so good. Okay. And you can tilt this any way you want. See how this looks kind of crooked here like this? I can take this whenever you and put it like that too, but I'm not going to go into all of that. Okay, I'm going to close this out. You would save this. You would go here and you would save file, save a copy, and you're going to save this to the Creative Cloud. If you don't save it to the Creative Cloud, it's going to take away from the transparency of the background. So you want to save it to the Creative Cloud so that it saves as a transparent background, and you can go back in and open your cloud documents. You can get that from there. It's going to save in here in your Creative Cloud, and you can select it from there. So I'm going to close this now. I'm not going to save the changes because I've already done all of this, so I don't need to save it. I've already saved it. So now what I'm going to do, I have to make sure that my background is unlocked, and to go to File, and go all the way down to Place Embedded. I'm going to select Place Embedded. And then I'm going to find the file that I saved in my cloud documents as my watermark. Okay, and this is the one that I did. Okay, while you have it here with the box around it, you can adjust it to sit any way you want on your photo, anywhere you want on your photo. If you want to put it on top, you can put it on the top, but you have to make sure that it's straight. If you want to put it on the side, that's a nice place for it. I like that. And this purple line is sort of like a guidance for you. If you want it to be perfectly centered in the middle or along the side, that would be the center of my document. That's not the center of my watermark. So I'm just going to place this here. Okay, I'm going to make it smaller so that it's not poking out everywhere. See, and this can go here. It's a cool spot. I'm going to have to adjust this though to make it straight. Then you, excuse me, then you can go over here. Make sure that the watermark layer is selected. And then you can change the way it looks. You can make it look grainy. You know, like it's dissolving into the photo a little. Whatever you choose, you want to make sure that all of your letters show up where they can be seen. You know, you don't want to have a watermark on a photo that no one can see. You know, no one can read. Well, who's the photographer on this photo? You want it to look nice, and you want it to be in a good place. But you also want to be able to read it. You don't want to put black on black or white on white. I really like the luminosity option on here because it really brings it out on the photo. And you can adjust the opacity if you want it to look. There's a light watermark here. You can see that, you can read that, and it's not taken away from this beautiful photo. So you want that to be there, but you don't want it to take away from the goal of the photo itself. The goal is to capture people's eyes. You know, you want you want this beauty to remain without this here taken away from the attention of this, is the point that I'm trying to make. So you want your watermark on there, but you don't want it to take the attention away from your photograph. This is a great example of what a good watermark should do for you. It's there, you can read it, you can see it, but it's not taken away from the beauty of your artwork. Now I want to show you how I added a watermark to my photos. That I already had, that already have a transparent background. So you're going to do this the same way as I showed you how to do the ones that you create the transparent background for. I'm going to open a file and add the watermark to a photo that doesn't have a watermark yet. Let me find a photo. Which one do I want to add? What are they? Nope. Not that one. I'm trying not to get photos of people on here because that wouldn't be right to do that. So I'm looking for let's try this one and see how this one works out. Okay. We have to make sure our background layer has been unlocked. Once you unlock your background layer, you can do anything you want to it. If you don't unlock, you won't be able to do whatever you want to your photo. We're going to go back to File, all the way back down to Place Embedded. We are going to locate the watermark that we want to put on our photo. I already have it. I already have this one in my cloud documents. This is a watermark that I've been using for a while. For a good while. This is one that I paid for. One that I had paid to have made. Okay, so now that I have it placed, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change the way my watermark looks. And that is a nice looking watermark right there. The color burn option really brought this one out. I'm going to scroll down until I find one that looks good. That is color dodge. It looks pretty good too. Linear dodge, that's nice. I'm going to scroll down until I find one that I really like. It's probably going to be the luminosity one because I just love that one. Exclusion is really good. Subtract, it's just basically subtracting the color from it. That is all that's doing. Okay. Maybe our luminosity one won't work good for this one if we want to put it in this section. So we're going to find one. Since this is where I wanted to put it, we're going to find one that's going to show up in this area because there are multiple colors here. That's a good one. The color burn one is a good one. Screen is a good one for this one. I think I'm going to use this one, but I'm going to use the opacity and lighten that so that it's not taken away from my photo. It's not. Your watermark should never become the focal point of your photo. It should be, it should be noticeable, but not to where it's just popping out there. And then you have your photo here, and your watermark should be a watermark. It shouldn't become a part of your photo. So this is good. You can see it. It's light, but you can see it, and you do know that it is there. I'm gonna go with that one. And then I like that. I'm not gonna save this. You would if if you're done. You go to File, Save as Copy. Like I explained before, you're gonna go to File, Save as a Copy, and you're gonna save this. You can save it to your computer. When you select Save on your computer, always save as a JPEG, JPEG file type. If you don't, your clients may not be able to see your photos whenever they try to open them. So you always want to save as a JPEG file. Okay, I'm not going to save this one because I'm going to show you how to take the color out of this watermark. Do you want to save change? No, I'm not saving this one. I'm going to go back and redo it. So you want to open your watermark file. If you don't have a watermark that already has a transparent background that you can use, in Photoshop, you would do this one the same way to remove the color background, the white background. I did that. I've already saved this. There is no way that I could turn this back into what it was before. I'm sure I can, but I'm not going to. This watermark has color. So we want to take the color out of this. You can use these hue, saturation, color balance, black and white. There you have it. That's easy. As simple as that. You can take all the color out, make it black, 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 black. Or leave it as it is. Adjust this back down to 0. And the properties. Okay, so now that we have it, now that we have this as black, all the color, you want to take all the color out of your watermark. You can adjust this. The same way we've been adjusting. This is a great one. Or leave it as is. Adjust the opacity. Yeah, can't do that. Let's see. Let's do this. Oh, see? That's just going to bring it back to its original color. Okay, let's take the color out. Let's drop it all the way down. All the way out. See, that doesn't work for that. Here, it's not going to work for that either, because that's going to bring the color back in. We don't want to lock that. See what that's what that does. Locking it, locking the colors, locking everything. Okay. Okay. So once you get it to the color that you want it to be, which you really want it to be no color at all in there, which, I mean, you want it, I say no color. You want it to be black. You want these to be black. Once you get that, you're going to lock this. You're going to lock it in. This is how I want it to look. I'm going to lock it in. You can change it the way this looks now. Using these drop down menus, which aren't showing up in my video. But you get the point, you know. These aren't, this drop down, it does not do anything for this. You can use your opacity to change how much of this you can see. You can lighten it. You can lighten it. You can turn this into a 3D object to place on your photo, but you don't want to do that, because if you put a 3D object on your photo, you're going to take away from your photo. You don't want to do that. You really don't. So I'm going to adjust this back. Just like that. So you can use it just like this and get the same effects of the lighter after you add this to your photo. I'm not going to save this one because I already have one that I did. I'm going to show you in just a second. This is the one that I made. This is the one that I made, and I actually have inverted layers in this. You don't have to do the invert layers. You can just do the black and white, the color balance, and hue, saturation, those kinds of things to create the color that you want. This one I did invert and black and white. And I was able to leave it as normal, and my opacity and my fill are at 100. So this is what it looks like. It's more of a cloudy gray color on mine, where the other one that I did for you guys was black. You can still get the same effects after you add it onto the photo. Like I said, I'm going to find a photo that I haven't added a watermark to. Let's see. Let me find this really fast. Let's see where. I don't want to add to any of those. Let's see. I've already done these. We're gonna take this one. This one's neat. Okay. And then I'm going to add my watermark. Go to place embedded. And this time I'm going to open my cloud documents, because once you create the transparent background for your watermark, you want to save it in the cloud documents. So I'm going to open my cloud documents. I am going to retrieve this watermark, and I'm going to place it. Place it in a place where you can see it well. I like that one. I like it there. But I can also go here and change the way it looks. Here. Line it up. Here. And there it isn't. When it's lighter, it's not taken away from my photo. I don't want to add something that is like here. If you put it in a place like that, you can't really see it because the colors are different. It's crazy. Here you can see it. Here you can see that. So if I was to place it there, I would want to make it lighter, because that just looks like it's a part of my photo. So if I'm going to add it to a really light space, then I want it to just kind of be there, without being one of the focal points. Like, we know this is here. So Crooked Tripod Photography did this photo, and it is so nice. That's how I would think about it. But if I did that, put that there, it looks, it becomes part of the photo. Oh, Crooked Tripod Photography did this photo. I can't really tell what it looks like without the watermark because it's so dark, and I would really love to be able to see it without that watermark. At that point, it just kind of becomes an eyesore. So you want it there, but you don't want it to be super noticeable. If I put it here, it doesn't take away from the photo, and you can see crooked tripod photography did this photo. I'm going to leave that there. This one I have not done yet, so I am going to save this. I always save a copy of this on my computer as a JPEG file, and let me get this saved as my JPEG file. Okay, with maximum image quality. Save. It's saving. It's done. Okay, and then I go here to save a copy, and save it to my Creative Cloud also. Save. Okay, it's done. That way I can go back, I can go back into my Creative Cloud. I can recover these files from the internet. If something happens to my computer, these files aren't gone because I've saved them into the cloud. So if something happens and my computer is completely wiped out, these photos are still here because there's a copy in the cloud. And I can access, if my computer doesn't get wiped out, I can access these photos without having to go online because I saved them to my computer. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. Okay, there you have it. How to add a watermark. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video.